All right, chat. What is going on? What is the music might have been a little bit low. This live stream from Rose After Hours, their volume's a little bit low. That's why it's like that. Okay, I don't make the rules, and that's how it is. So we'll talk about today. I tweeted a little bit earlier, like right here, I think, like right around 11:35. I tweeted high resistant conditions. I still think we're likely to go higher versus lower, and it looks like that is not the case. So it looks like NQ instead wants to go lower. So what I really should have done, and this was laziness on my part. What I should have done was look at the other indices in conjunction with, I spent a lot of time on NQ and virtually no time on ES and Dookie Dow. So I probably shouldn't have done that. But here's where we're at. Because I know Disciplined Trader in the charts chat said I thought the highs were low resistant. Now 26,045 and a half, yes, they are low resistant highs. However, if you remember This is house music, by the way. I mean, I know it's off now, but it's called Deep House Obsession by Rose After Hours. This is an absolute vibe. So if you see me head nodding, I'm not crazy. I'm just vibing with the music. But if you remember, I think this is it. You guys remember this? In the stages? It was good. Eric, Marshall, Stephanie, Slowly, Torty, Julius, MJ, Capitalist, Jorks, AJ, Mason, 2020. What's good, everyone? But do you guys remember this? Market maker models. So what I think tends to happen, and I'm subject to this too. I'm not perfect, obviously. You saw that today, right? I think one thing that people don't do correctly, because I did this for a long time too, is look at what took place and how you got to your conclusion, obviously, because you're going to have a bias or not, you're going to place a trade or not, and you're going to have those reasons, right? So what's a good patch? So when you get it wrong, you have to say, okay, did I miss something? Did I just misinterpret it? Did I miss something on the higher time frame? You know, you gotta do some self-assessment here. And I think what happens, because again, I'm speaking from experience here, I think we get caught up in the wrong side of the curve. So like what I mean is, when we see original consolidation, specifically for the buy model, when we have some highs, right? And the market trades lower, and then it looks like, oh, hey, it's going to run up to take these highs out. Right? Like we think that, because at that time, when the market starts to rally and this is the low, we might mistake that low for being down here, if that makes sense. Like it's the wrong stage. So this rally, either back into the original consolidation, right? That, based on this, is not a long to go up above the highs. It reaches back into the original consolidation to go lower. Big James, what's good? So do you see what I'm saying now? So when we go back to our chart here and we look at it, right? NQH 5-minute time frame, electronic hours. It looks, because we got turtle soup down here at 9:45, right? Because we have like Asia low or something. London's low, I think, is here. So we have all types of lows, right? We had rallied for our 7:30 news, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. We left behind those highs. Beautiful. Then we sank lower. Not really a mitigation here, but kind of, it's the one that functions like one. It's the lower high bodies as well. Trades into that, and then lower, there's your first low, small retracement higher, and then another low. So that is a lower low below an old low. So that's a soup, right? We had rallied this, to me, right? Imbalance here, and then rallies up, and look what it rallies up and into. The original consolidation. The original consolidation. So it does that. Then it had a retracement down into this imbalance, and roughly 50%, I think, is somewhere in here. And it left that wick. So as soon as it left that wick, that's when I was thinking, like, okay, in my mind, I'm thinking the market is wicking down here, getting trailing stops out for anybody that's long, right? Wicking them out, doing that again here. Like, oh, they're, prices being taken lower to whipsaw anybody who's long and is dragging their stop up, right? So then it's like, okay, well then maybe because we have a turtle soup down here and we have low resistance highs here, and then the 125 or 124 or whatever that is up there, it's like, okay, well then maybe this will give us our run higher. That's why I tweeted that. You see what I'm saying? So because we went back into the original consolidation and left it again, that's why I'm starting to think that maybe this won't go higher and we may end up making a new low of day. Then, right? Then that low potentially could be set, and then we could get a reversal above the highs and then seek the 123s up here, the 120s. You see what I'm saying? So, disciplined trader, that's what happened. That's what took place, right? So again, it looked good, but everything that glitters isn't gold. You know what I'm saying? So I won't always get it right. You won't always get it right. Sometimes we just get it wrong. This may not even make a new low of day. This could easily just make a low here and then rally up. Well, what do I do with that, John? I don't know. Don't trade it. You know? That's my thought process. If we go over to ES, and it's going to be confusing looking at what I have here if you're not understanding regular trading hours. ESH, regular trading hours. So we're not in electronic, we're in regular trading hours. Original consolidation here. We had traded lower, and then same thing at like 1025. We had that wickage, and then traded into a premium, meaning we're in the upper half of our current range here. And now we're lower. So although I don't think it quite literally hit the original consolidation, if this is a level of distribution to go lower, then we should see a redistribution lower and probably attack these lows. You see what I'm saying? Consolidation, distribution, redistribution. I know this is the one that has distribution spelled wrong, but we're going to look beyond that. We're going to look beyond that. Okay. And something on a higher time frame. Ideally, some sort of manipulation, some sort of liquidity sweep. Then, right, we should, once we get that shift in stay delivery, one of the earlier ones, then we'll know that we are early in the buy side of the curve for the buy model. Okay. So if it doesn't do that, I'm probably not going to be interested. Thank you, Robert. I'm glad one of you is here today. I'm glad one of you is in the chat. So this is going to be another one of those scenarios. I think we are going to go higher, but I think we're going to go lower first. So if we don't do that, I'll just be wrong again. What other questions you guys have? We'll see. We got this little area right here. We got this no shirt candle right there. Market just came back to clean that up. We'll see if this thing wants to expand lower. AJ said at work, headphones are in. Nice. So no one else can hear the curse words. I like what you're doing there, AJ. Like what you're doing. More people should do that. Quite frankly, more people should do that. I woke up early today. Couldn't go back to sleep, so I stayed up. And now I regret that because now I'm very tired. But I read a little bit today. And I'm actually still, you guys are probably sick of me saying this, but you're still here, so that probably counts for something. This right here, you see that? Can y'all see this binder with the page protectors in it? This right here is my next book. Okay? This is what I'm working with so far. This is what I have. It's a lot. It's fairly organized now because I reorganized it a couple weeks ago. I was writing up, or I was typing up some more of the written stuff today. So things are moving along. All right? Things are moving along. And I'm excited, man. I really am. You see the issue I have, chat? The issue I have? When I read more, I can make my own work better, richer. You understand? I've gone back and reread some of the first drafts that I have. Awful. Awful. You know what I'm saying? Terrible. Trash. Garbage. So bad. But over the years, okay, over the years, reading more and more and more, I'd like to think that I've become a better writer. Did I lose a lot of content for your book on my old computer / hard drive? I don't think so. Cameron, I don't think so. And the main reason is I am old school. When I tell you I'm writing a book, that doesn't mean typing it. That means I have I'll show you some of it right now. I ain't going to read it to you because we're not doing that today, but like, look at this, okay? These are real pages with ink on it. You see that? I'm physically writing it out by hand, okay? And that's why it's so disorganized, because when an idea comes to mind, you just got to get it on paper. And you can figure out the organization stuff later. I talk a little bit about that too. You should always I'll give you another life lesson, okay? Since you're here, there's 50 of you, 50 something of you. You ready? You should, okay? You can write this one down, free of charge, baby, free of fucking charge. You should always, you should always keep a journal or a notebook at a minimum. I'm going to say, I may not have them anymore. I don't really use them. Yeah, I think I got rid of them. I would say sticky notes. At a bare minimum, sticky notes. Always have a journal or a writing pad and a pen by your nightstand. It should be on your nightstand. It should be on your desk, a separate one if need be, and you should have one in the car. Okay? Did you get all that? You should have a notebook and a pen, ideally 2 or 3 pens, because sometimes they run out of ink or they get lost or whatever. You never know when you get good ideas. And I'll tell you another secret. I'll tell you another. Do you guys want another secret? Drop a 2 if you want another secret. Okay? I'm giving you some life-changing shit here today. I give you life-changing shit on every stream, but do you want more? Patch, I've been writing this honestly for like 3, maybe 4 years. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. But I have never once put out a date when it would be finished. I never promised that. I'm not going to work within a time constraint. I don't believe I don't want to go through all this shit again, but back in the day, I used to tell you, I don't believe in setting a date on success. I don't believe in that. It's going to take however long it takes. And you rushing it is what's causing you to mess up more than you would if you just actually sat down and focused on the process correctly. So that's just me. I don't believe in dates on success. I just don't. Especially when it comes to the creative process. You can't rush art, bro. You can't. You can't. You're gonna screw it up. You're gonna mess it up. Okay? So that's why I've been working on it for so long. I want to make it better. I'm like 1v1ing perfection right now. Perfectionism. Okay? And I'm going to try and have it done this year, but I'm still not going to promise. Yeah, it's absolutely not AI generated. Absolutely not. I may have AI help with the citations. I'm going to keep it crispy with you. I'm going to say, hey, double check these sources because I need to make sure I don't fuck this up. But that's the extent of any sort of AI generation. It may edit, but it will not create for me. Fuck no. Not for this book. Absolutely not. Okay, let me give you the second thing real quick before I move on to the next questions. The first thing I told you, you should always keep a journal or a notepad of some sort, at a minimum a sticky note, pack of sticky notes, and a pen in the car, on your nightstand, maybe even the bathroom. Because here's number two. I don't know. I read about the science of it. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I know, based on my own experience and what I've read before, we are very, very creative early in the morning and late at night. Don't ask me to explain it to you because I can't. But you tell me if I'm wrong, chat. Y'all ever had a really good idea early in the morning or late at night and then you forgot it? If it was late at night, you went to bed thinking, oh, that's a good idea. You woke up the next day and went, what was my idea again? You didn't remember the dreams you had, probably. And you didn't remember the good ideas that you had. You just forgot them. Or early in the morning, you had a really good idea. And then by the afternoon, since you didn't write it down, it was lost. Seriously, has that ever happened to you? Or that can't just be me. Drop some threes in the chat. That's been you. Have you ever done that? You had a really good idea. You thought it was freaking awesome. And then you were like, oh, what was that? What was I talking about again? Man, I don't know. I forgot. I know that word. Man, it's on the tip of my tongue. What is it? Right. Right. How long did it take for me to create my first book? I really only worked on it on the weekends for like a year. And that was about it. So, anyway, that's because of beta frequencies. It makes absolute sense. Yeah, again, I'm sure that's probably right. I don't know. I don't really care for science, to be honest with you. I just don't care for science. That really stems from childhood, okay? I don't know if it was crack or heroin, but I had an addict for a chemistry teacher. So I never learned anything from her. And the other chemistry teacher I had, or science teacher, she was a very nice lady. But I had a girlfriend at the time. That stupid bitch I talk about all the time. And I would copy her homework every day before class started. So I never learned anything because I cheated. Never cheated on her. But I cheated on the homework every day. And the other teacher was a drug addict. I couldn't tell you about the fourth year. Third and fourth year. I have no idea. But needless to say, I don't know shit about science or chemistry. H2O, that's about it, baby. That's it. Periodic table, gold and silver's on there somewhere. And that's about it. Okay. That's the exact same reason why I started a journal or keep something similar to that, right? Where can I buy the first one? The first what? Oh, journal? You can go on Amazon. Amazon has plenty of journals. If you go on my Instagram story though, there's a German brand. I think it's German. I can't, I'm not even gonna begin to pronounce it because I will absolutely. I'm just not even gonna try. But I will copy and paste the link to the journal I just got, or the planner I just got, excuse me. But I'm forewarning you now, it is not cheap. Okay? It's not fucking cheap. They have cheap ones, but you get what you pay for. At least when it comes to journals, okay? You're gonna. I bought in plenty of cheap ones, and the paper is see-through. They're flimsy, and it's like garbage. But this brand, yes, they're expensive, but they're good. They're really good. Heard you say you don't care for history on stream once before as well. Not a man for science or history. Come on, John. I have learned to like history, but only to the extent that I can learn something from it. Like I've read biographies on Lincoln. I have one on Ulysses S. Grant. I haven't read it yet, but learning about the people in history, yes. But Cameron, history is, man, I really don't want to get into it. I really don't want to get into politics, but basically, history in short, white people are bad, everybody's a victim, and America sucks. Like, that's where we're at in today's world. That's what real history is, apparently. So, forgive me if I think a lot of that is bullshit. They make it seem like it was only white people who owned slaves. That's fucking wrong. But the truth goes against a lot of the agendas that people have. Okay? So when you learn history, you need to learn real history. And that's hard because what do they say? History is written by the victors. So who's to say that they're not going to say that they're the best because they won a war or something, Or they're going to, propaganda is a real thing. They're going to spread lies and all this shit. So if you read enough into history, you'll see a lot of it just contradicts. So what do you do with that? What do you do with that? I was looking for it recently. It's called Advanced Technical Analysis. COVID is going to seem insane in the future history book. I talk about it briefly. Somewhat. I don't think I actually mentioned anything in there, but I do insinuate a few things. Anyway, I don't even know where this conversation is going. I never truly know where it goes. It just goes wherever. It goes all over the place. But just know I'm going to try and have this finished by this year. And I I keep remembering this thing that Ryan Holiday says all the time. It's like, don't let perfection be the enemy of good enough, or something like something along those lines. Like, basically, stop trying to make it perfect. If it's good, if it's really good, like, then just go for it. So that's where I'm at. Because I always just want to add more stuff. But it's like, no. This is enough. Like, this is what you wanted to say. Beyond a certain point, it becomes a ramble, you know? And like, that's what I'm trying to cut out. Because I want to make a really nice book, but I don't want to make it overly long. I'm not writing a book in the length of Robert Greene. Okay? 600 pages. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. No. What I'm trying to go for is about the same size and length book as Ryan Holiday's stuff. So that'll roughly be, 200 to 300 pages, but a lot smaller pages, not 8.5 by 11 Word document. But think of it like a very concise version of all of the things that I've taught you outside of trading. All the personal development stuff, all of the mindset stuff, a little bit of the stuff on wealth, right? We talked about Proverbs the other day. And I shared that list, by the way, of the 10 verses. Yeah. So I will share more and more as we get closer to finishing it. And I will share even more as we get closer to the release date of it. And I'm definitely going to take another 5-year break before writing another one, probably. You guys have no idea how much work this is. And it's a lot. It is a lot, chat. So Dow made a new low of day. ES did not. And neither did NQ. It's kind of just hovering around here. Gross. Have y'all seen silver, dude? Have y'all seen silver went almost to 90, dog? Have y'all been watching silver? Like, this is the wildest year I've ever seen, ever. What a wild year. Or last couple years, rather. But this thing just keeps going, bro. We're almost at the 90s. Yeah, 89 and some change was the high. Silver's damn near 100. You sold for 72 euro? 72? Okay. I mean, that's not terrible. I mean, if you sold it today, if you sold at 87 and you got 72, that's terrible. If you had a 17% spread, yeah. I would have throat chopped whoever said, I'll give you 72 an ounce. I would have throat chopped them immediately. And it just right there to the throat. And reevaluate. 48 Laws of Power is a history book. Haven't read the 33 laws of, or the 33 strategies of war, I think you're talking about. But that likely is as well. Robert Greene's a great historian. You know what's, bro, I love, like, Robert Greene, dude. I feel like I'd get along. If he was my neighbor, I feel like I'd get along with him really well. because he was like, I saw an interview of him and Ryan Holiday, like in front of an audience, right? And he's talking about his process, and he's like, yeah, I read old history stuff. And he's like, I found a journal on, I don't know if it was Washington or somebody, somebody really, really, really old. And he was going through this journal, and apparently somebody wrote down everything they did. Like, oh, we crossed the bridge, and then, we did this, and we had dinner and that. And he was like, yo, he's like, when I read that stuff, he like wants to kill himself. He's like, this is so boring. And so I can only imagine the amount of work that Robert Greene has done. I probably wouldn't even do 1/4 of the work that he's done for his books. I can only imagine. But yeah, his stuff is very dense, which I like. I'm not complaining. But, it's kind of like Doris Goodwin or David McCullough, however you pronounce it. These are people who write 500, 600 page books, just like Robert Greene, but on the same person. The same person. You have a 600-page book on Abraham Lincoln. Like, do you know how much content you have to go through just to write 600 pages worth of stuff? Bro, we're talking about journals, probably other books, historical documents. A lot of us might complain about reading a 600-page book. Shit, imagine writing a 600-page book. I mean, it's no wonder all these people who write these books are like really, really old. They're in like their 60s and 70s and shit. It probably took them damn near 20 years to fucking write it. That's a monster work, dude. Couldn't be me. I mean, I like Abraham Lincoln. I like some of the other folks. I like Marcus Aurelius, but I don't like them that much. Okay? I don't think so. Not gonna happen, Captain. But anyway, I know I've been yapping to you for a little while, but I really don't have anything else for you. It still seems like we're in a redistribution, and I think this is gross. Personally, I think this is awful. So I would not be interested in this. I would be more so interested in probably getting some real work done. So do you guys have any last minute questions, or can we shut it down here? I really don't want to hold you longer than necessary. If it's not necessary, we can just shut it down. It is not a big deal to me, chat. What about the last 5 wealth verses from the Bible? I shared that on my Instagram story. We went over the first 5 yesterday. The next 5, Proverbs 19:17, be kind to the poor. 19:17, be kind to the poor. Proverbs 21:5, diligence, not haste. 21:5, diligence, not haste. 21:20, save, don't waste. That's the one I think the rich store up. What is it? Choice food and oil, but the fools gobble theirs down, or something like that. So 21:20 is save, don't waste. 22:7, big one here. 22:7, avoid debt. At least like I'd say credit cards. Obviously, if you buy a car or a house, that's a little bit different. But like 26% interest credit cards, and you're trying to buy a $15 burrito and split it into 4 payments, like no, no, no. So 22.7, avoid debt, and the last one is 28.27, give back to the poor. 28.27, give back to the poor. So there's at least 2 different verses on the poor. Be kind to them and give back to them too. It's different things. Kindness and giving back are 2 different things. So it's not always about, remember, it's not always about making money, making more money. That's only part of the equation. Who you are as a person matters more than how much you have. And what you do with it matters too. You know, if you just want to get rich to go blow it all on hookers and cocaine, like that's, don't do that. You know, help people. You know, you could buy some stuff. You could buy a backpack or, you know, something that's usable. You could use it once or twice and then donate it. You know, old stuff you don't want anymore that's sitting in your attic or sitting in your garage, you could sell it, sure, or you could just donate it too. But have a good one, Cameron. What will be the next book? Right now it's called Observations. What I've learned in life about personal development, business, and something else. I don't remember the title's not set in stone yet, but that's what it is. It's life lessons for you. I thought the low was set, but price was still in the first stage distribution. How would you expect further redistribution prior to manipulation on the sell side? Robert, I didn't. I missed it myself. That's what I was trying to tell you earlier. Because we did have manipulation. We had a turtle soup and we had opportunity too long. We had an opportunity. I don't know where you would have taken partials, to be honest with you. Maybe somewhere on a 1 minute time frame. Like these highs, possibly. I don't know. But all I know is that when the market does give, you know, if you're in below that old low, or you are in on this carnage right here, or a little bit after, you know, when the market gives you 100, 120 points, you know, why wouldn't you put your stop 20 points in profit or 30 points in profit, you know, just to get something on the day, right? And that's probably what happened to a lot of people today. They probably got yoinked in profit, or on this, they probably got yoinked in profit, but it went lower. It went lower anyway. So, you know, I don't know what else to tell you. Is that a play on meditations? I don't think so. I tip my hat to a lot of people, just so you know. I'm not gonna tell you all of it, but I'll give you an example. When I made my first book on trading, I made it 8.5 by 11. That was a tribute to Larry Williams, because most of his books are 8.5 by 11. So I did that to, you know, tip my hand to a legend. That's why I didn't make it regular. Plus, if we're going to put charts in there, it'd be easier for a bigger page. But a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people overlook that kind of stuff. But I will be tipping my hat to a few different folks. Yeah, capitalists. Yeah, yeah. Listen, there's a method to the madness, okay? There is a method to the madness. Everything isn't random. Okay? Price isn't random. Nothing is random. I'm gonna just watch that. I'm not gonna trade this here. I'm just watching it. To see if this thing ends up wanting to go lower or not. But I'll end it with this. I'm not interested in this today. I'm no longer interested in anything here. So y'all be good, be blessed, man. It is Tuesday, which means I will put out a market view later this evening. We'll have one more free public live stream tomorrow on Wednesday the 14th. The next member only live stream will be Friday the 16th. That's the end of this week. And I will also put out the companion essay to How to Read a Book by Adler and Van Doren. So, y'all be good, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
Do